Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario. We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Dip Dip Yanko. In tonight's Game Plan, we'll talk about the winner-take-all Game 7 clash between Barangay Ginebra and the Bay Area Dragons in the PBA Commissioner's Cup. We'll also catch up with the Phoenix Fuelmasters as they look ahead to a new chapter in the upcoming Governor's Cup. We'll also take a look at some Luka magic as the Dallas Mavericks take a double overtime victory against the Los Angeles Lakers. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. We're down to the last game of the PBA Commissioner's Cup Best of 7 final series. Will Dynasty reign for Barangay Ginebra, or will the Bay Area Dragons come out on top? Now let's get a preview of Game 7 with basketball analyst Willie Wilson and JV Mocon of the Phoenix Fuelmasters. Gentlemen, welcome to the game. JV's joining us via Zoom. Coach Will, first of all, what a series we've had here so far, and tightly contested. Going to Game 7, though, they all say that, hey, nothing else matters except for that Game 7.
Well, the saying is that the Game 7s belong to the players. Throw out all the tactics, throw out all the that chess match between these two great coaches, and it's the players that need to step up and win this game.
Right, so maybe you can get into the details of that game number 6. Coach Willie, first I'm going to ask you, which players do you think stood out for you in game number 6?
Oh, we got to start with Powell, Mr. Miles Powell. I've been on the record multiple times. We were here together when we talked about the fit between Powell and his Bay Area teammates, as well as the fit with Nicholson and his Bay Area teammates. And I just feel like putting that Miles Powell and Glenn Yang combination out there, where you take the burden off of a Glenn Yang to do all the playmaking, because there is no backup point guard there. Keep that in mind. And they have a very, very deep bench of bigs on that team, and it just balances out so well.
Yeah, and of course, he played 43 minutes last time around. Pero punta muna natin si JV. JV, you've experienced the chance to play against the Bay Area Dragons. And of course, what's the biggest challenge against playing against them? Because, we always talk about, okay, itong si... I want to wait, I'm sorry, I just saw the background for the very first time. It's like Coach Willie is over your shoulder.
How many backgrounds does this guy have, man?
Ayun. Anyway, going back to my question, JV, what's the biggest challenge that Bay Area actually poses once you play against them? Sorry, nakamute ka ata, JV.
I know.
Oo, nagpalit kasi ng background.
Ang ganda ng background mo, pero nakamute ka. Come on, man.
Sobrang ganda, mute ko para makita mo lang yung background.
Ayun.
Pero obviously, their height and their speed, obviously Miles Powell is there, and then he really complement everyone. Kasi when Nicholson is there, it's only like Nicholson posting up one-on-one. Pero when Miles Powell is there, like the ball movement is, they pass the ball really well, they screen the ball really well. So it's not only Miles Powell. Nagkaka-opportunity lalo na yung mga big man to get the rock, to be a scorer din.
JV, halos more than 20,000 fans ang nanonood inside the venues in this entire series for Ginebra and Bay Area. Ikaw as a player, anong impact nito pag maraming nanonood live? You've experienced this back in college na talagang full house pag championship game. Ano yung impact as a player para sa'yo, JV?
Actually, I watched the Game 5, Game 3 and Game 5, so there was a lot of fans talaga. Pero yun nga, during my collegiate year, it's been really, really fun. It's either a make it or break it, feeling that pressure is gonna over you, or you take over that pressure and make it your own, make it your stage para ikaw maging superhero, or to be play the best game of your life. And this Game 7 is one of the opportunity to do that.
And of course, expected more than 40,000 people coming to the Philippine Arena on Sunday at Bukawi, Bulacan. And Coach Willie, we are talking a bit about the coaching matchup in general, because this must be a basketball nerd's dream. Watching Tim Cone and Brian Gorjan go at each other. What have you made of that matchup so far?
Well, let's just talk about the accolades that both of these coaches have accumulated over their careers. Starting with Coach Tim Cone, the most accomplished coach in PBA history, first to 1,000 wins. Now going for his 25th championship. Coach Brian, 6-time champion in the Australian Basketball League, 6-time Coach of the Year. So these guys are very, very accomplished. And this chess match has moved over to the media as well. As we saw early in the series, you have a soundbite from Coach Tim Cohn saying that, yeah, Coach Brian has done a very, very good job selling calls. And then Coach Brian, when he gets his opportunity to go in front of the media, I'm not a crybaby.
Yeah.
I've never asked for calls. So, then again, this goes beyond the court and has already spilled over into the media.
JV, a while ago, Pao asked you, kamusta yung paglalaban against Bay Area. I want to ask you now, yung experience mo playing against Ginebra, no? If Bay Area players are listening right now, what would you give them na tip siguro na parang, how do you face Ginebra? Kasi grabe nga yung pressure. You mentioned make
Wait,
or
sorry
break moment
nag-change
yan.
ng background ulit si JV.
Na-draft na.
Iba to.
Hey, I like that one better. That's fierce.
Kanina pre-draft.
That's fierce right there. I like that
Parang
one.
draft combine pa lang yung picture ni Coach Willie
Ito
kanina.
kalaban
Ngayon,
na niya si Scotty Thompson.
Oo, naglalaro na yan.
Kawawa si Scotty
Hey,
doon.
I got a bucket there. I got a bucket there. I remember that play.
Probably a missed layup, pero
No. Hey, that's a tap ring right
At
there.
least hindi na siya nakamute ngayon. So, JV can answer that. Go ahead. If Bay Area players are listening right now, what would you say to them na parang, how do you face Ginebra? Kasi grabe nga yung pressure siguro deep inside these players.
obviously their game plan last game worked. Kasi they won the game. Pero during the end game stretch, there's a lot of opportunities for Ginebra to win the game. So they really need to look into that. Yung mga nagkaka-breakdown sila once they get the big lead. Lalo na the crowd, the sixth man of Ginebra is really, really important for Ginebra kasi talaga nararate yung Bay Area. I can feel it because I'm watching it. I watch it live and then I can see it from their faces. So, yun lang, aside from, getting off that, yung mga sigawan ng mga tao.
Yeah.
So you have to deal with that. Lalo na, it's game 7. It's gonna be really loud. It's gonna be, sabi mo nga, 40,000 fans watching. It's all Ginebra. Walang Bay Area. Probably mga 500 Bay Area.
If there are
Maybe five.
Pero that actually brings up a good point, JV. And Coach William, I want to ask you this kasi this Barangay Ginebra team has been there, done that. The experience definitely on their side. Are we putting too much stock at that experience, or do you think that experience might actually be a big difference maker come Game 7?
I might have to disagree with you on that. When you talk about experience on their side, they have a very, very large, big part of their game that does not have any finals experience, and that is Jamie Malonzo. Jamie Malonzo actually, and also Jeremiah Gray.
Yeah.
These two guys have increased the size of that wing rotation of Tim Cohn. They play heavy minutes out there, and they're asked to match up with a Powell, a Blankley, even sometimes a Zhu. So without that big game experience, it's showing actually in those losses, as you see the shot percentage of a lot of these guys, of the guys I mentioned, not very good. When like what JV said, this is your time to show that I can step up.
Yeah.
I can be a big time player. I can be a hero for my team, and in those big moments when they do not have the experience, they have not really been able to step up.
So let's see if they're going to step up come then. Of course, I will be on Sunday at the Bukawi Bulacan at the Philippine Arena, and can't wait to see everyone there.
Right, we're gonna watch that Game 7 for sure. But first, after the break, we'll check in with the Phoenix Fuel Masters as they get set for a new chapter in the upcoming PBA Governor's Cup. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. welcome back to the game. The Phoenix Fuel Masters recently made headlines with the PBA after parting ways with former head coach Topex Robinson. Now joining us tonight to talk about the new chapter ahead of the Fuel Masters are members JV Mocon, Kurt Lojera, RJ Hazul, Sean Manganti, and of course assistant coach Willie Wilson. Guys pala, sorry. Phoenix kasi. Guys, welcome to the game.
That was terrible. Oh my goodness. Wait, unang-una, I just want to say that Coach Willie is disappointed at the fact that none of you have him as your background at the moment, unlike JV a while ago. And
Naubos na.
Added disappointment for JV Mocon kasi he's not, Coach Willie was the background and not anymore.
May time pa naman to change the background as we go along with this interview. Pero unahin na natin the captain, RJ Hazul. RJ, of course, pag-usapan natin. Umalis si Matthew Wright, of course, dito sa midway through the Commissioner's Cup, and now yung recent news, aalis na rin si Coach Topex Robinson. As the captain, ano yung challenge para sa'yo to shoulder the load as a leader for the Phoenix team?
I cannot say na I am shouldering the load kasi I have many teammates. So even the young guys can lead naman. I'm just guiding them. Siyempre, nandiyan pa naman sila Coach Jamai, Coach John, and the management. So ayun lang, whoever's there, whoever's not, we just play as a team. We're still the same team as before. So Coach Topex just left and then still the same team basically. So ayun lang, sabi sa amin ng coaching staff, and just continue what we're doing best. So just play our hearts out. Yun lang po every game.
And of course, I want to turn to Kurt now because Kurt, you in particular have had a few coaches already in your very young PBA career. And again, another coaching change here as well. Personally for you, how difficult is it, and as well, how much of a challenge is it being part of a new setup once more?
Same difference, I guess you could say. I'm pretty much used to it, so I try to go with the flow and let everything just go on the way. So.
Sean, I wanted to ask you about your road to recovery. Of course, you missed a number of games last conference for Phoenix, but moving forward, what can we expect of Sean Manganti heading to the Governor's Cup?
I think I'm much more healthy than I was last year. Been working closely with our PTs and our SNCs, Coach LA and Coach Miggs, and we're just excited to get the season going.
And of course, JV, the interim head coach right now will be si Coach Jamai Karin, who obviously you've had a lot of experience with in college. Is it more of the same? Did the memories start flooding back to you na siya ulit yung head coach mo? And of course, how have the first few days been? And let's pretend Coach Willie's not here, by the way. You can say whatever you want.
Actually, akala ko si Coach Willie talaga papalit niya sa head coach. Unfortunately, hindi pa siya. So, it's doing really well as an assistant coach. So I'm really happy for Pero talking about Coach Jamai is really like a great person on and off the court. So yung tama ka, yung mga memories during the collegiate mga San Beda days namin talagang bumabalik siya, and then I can see yung mga gusto niya i-run the plays. Actually, there's a few plays that we've been practicing. It's the same ones that we had it in my San Beda days. So really familiar with all the plays, and then especially Jamai.
Well, not that he needs any more playing time, Coach, pero he's earning more playing time with what he's saying right now.
Yeah, well, pretty much what he's saying is that these are the plays that made me who I am when I was in college, that got me all my points, and it's going to carry over now to the PBA under Coach Jamai with Phoenix, and he's going to take every shot, pretty much on every possession. That's what it sounds like.
Can I do that?
Hey, use your best judgment. All right, best judgment. I don't know what he thinks about your judgment, but let's move on first. Sean, ikaw muna. Sean, of course, you signed an extension back in April 2022. Obviously, you want to get a better run of health and better run of games in. Stacked position, though. There's a lot of competition internally here in Phoenix, especially for your position. How are you taking on that challenge? And of course, just how difficult is it, and just how much of a blessing is it that you have that type of competition in-house?
Oh no, we love it. The culture that we built here at Phoenix under Coach Topex It's just we're next man up, and we're competing every day, and we want each other to shine. Like we're not like trying to take each other's spot or nothing. We're just competing at the highest level that we can.
Let's go back to Kurt. We just found out that Kurt actually is the resident barber in their team. Actually cuts players' hairs back in the bubble when he was with LaSalle, yun yung gawa niya. But for you, Kurt, aside from that role, what do you think will be your role moving forward with Phoenix, especially also coming from an injury?
So, I'm sorry, what was that?
What will be your role coming into the Governor's Cup for the Fuel Masters?
They pretty much just be a stopper. At the same time, you know, I could do both ends of the floor. So as much as I can, just be aggressive out there and, you know, just play my game.
RJ, syempre bilang veteran. Wait lang, I mean, Coach Willie has
I
something.
just wanted some clarification with what Kurt said. He said to be a stopper, like ball stopper, or I mean defensive stopper. I hope that's what he meant. I know. I just wanted some clarification. That's it.
Kurt, I'll let you answer that first. Any clarification?
Defensive stopper.
Might end up stopping the offensive flow, right?
Ball stopper.
Yeah, stops the ball, not in the way that coach wants it to be. But RJ, syempre you're now one of the veterans, if not or the veteran in this team, and of course leading a very young team. How does that make you look at yung career mo ngayon? Kasi syempre, we all know you as a red hot scorer. Sometimes you can't stop scoring, but then when you take a look at what's happening right now sa team ninyo, especially with the young core that you have, how do you see your role at anong leadership style mo?
Ito, magandang question to.
No, actually, surrounded by young guys, syempre you feel also younger. Syempre iba na yung paligid namin. I mean, iba na yung surroundings, iba na yung mga hilig na mga bata ngayon. Pero going back to the role, ganoon pa rin naman. Whoever's there, whoever's coaching us, same naman yung role ko to lead the young guys. I mean, if I'm on the floor to be coach extension, kung ano yung mga kailangan ni coach pagawa, even no timeouts, and lead them where we're supposed to be. Ayun lang naman, every time.
Well guys, JV, Kurt, RJ, Sean, maraming salamat. Thank you very much for taking the time out and of course, bearing with Coach Willie. Dapat wala siya dito but then he said that no, he has to be here. And ayun, a different background. JV, maraming salamat. Thank you again for bringing that in.
Look at the biceps right there,
that
man.
bicep
Look at the
still
bicep right there. Hey, I still got that.
Ayun.
I gotta flex on him, coach.
Thank goodness coach is required to wear 2 layers of shirts.
I got
All right, maraming salamat guys. We'll see you again next time. And after the break, we'll look into the double OT victory of the Dallas Mavericks against the Los Angeles Lakers. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back to the game. The Dallas Mavericks make a return into the win column in dramatic fashion as they take a double overtime victory against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, still with us to talk about that match is NBA All-Star Analyst of the NBA Philippines. It's Coach Willie Wilson. And of course, with Dip here, we have to talk about Luka. Dip wears Luka shoes every time we're gonna talk about
Hindi ko talaga
Luka.
sinasadya, guys.
Sinadya mo yun.
And of course,
Sinadya mo yun.
we had to bring in Coach Willie Wilson here.
I would have done the same thing if I were you. So
All right, let's talk about Luka Doncic first. You know what? Don't ask questions. I'll go to you too. Luka Doncic, how impressive has he been?
I mean, anytime you get a 35-point triple-double, I mean, it speaks for itself. I don't need to keep on praising the guy. I feel he's the MVP front-runner, and I'm pretty sure Dip feels the same way. But what's more impressive about Dallas in a whole is how they had 3 guys score in over 20 points. And it was Dinwiddie, Christian Wood, and he also did it on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And it's not just Luka. Other guys stepped up.
11th triple-double of the season for Luka Doncic. Dip, are you even surprised anymore that he does this? Now, gulat ka ba? Is it still fun watching Dallas basketball, knowing that
fun.
he does this all the time?
I can watch them win every day. But talking about the Dallas Mavericks, really, I'm happy that every time we talk about them here in the show, it's like their standing gets better and better. So let's keep talking about them, right? They're now at the 3rd spot.
Well, why isn't that happening with the Lakers? Whenever we talk about the Lakers, their standing is not really moving. It's not getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
Oh, we talk about the Lakers standing right now. They fall.
No, wait.
Now that you mention it, can I just say Dallas right now is at the 3rd spot.
Yeah.
And you talk about the Lakers, you add the number 1 before that number 3. They're at the 13th spot right now talking about the Lakers. But looking at their roster right now, Coach Willie, we were talking about trades for them, Westbrook going away. Do you think that he should still leave the Lakers? I mean, he played well a while ago.
I mean, if shooting 40% is well, then yeah, he played well.
Yeah.
I don't really feel he played well. He had that terrible flagrant foul and the bad defense. He didn't switch onto with Schroeder when he was supposed to. So there are lapses there. But for me, the biggest thing with the Lakers right now, even bigger than them needed to make personnel changes through trades or free agency, is that they need to get healthy. Right. I mean, they were missing Pat Bev. They were missing Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker is another guy that could have been guarding Luka. They've had 23 different starting lineups in their 40-plus games. That again, when we talk about continuity, familiarity, consistency, that's not what's happening right now with the Lakers.
Well, you know what? We're going to talk a lot more about the Lakers as the season goes on because we are not even at the All-Star break and still we're already discussing what changes they have to make. And of course, let's see whether or not Dallas can keep this up. But then, Dip, I'll let you enjoy this first and the fact that you wear Luka shoes all the time. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Coach Willie. But don't miss out on some weekend NBA action, of course, only on NBA TV Philippines. And One Sports, check out the match between the Atlanta Hawks and the Portland Trail Blazers on Saturday, 8 a.m. live on NBA TV Philippines. Then, start the week right and head on over to One Sports to check out the battle between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Los Angeles Lakers on Monday, 10:30 a.m.
Again, thank you very much, Coach Willie. And we'll see you again next time and talk more Lakers ball, I'm sure.
And next time, he'll flex on us. Remove that jacket on, we can see his muscles. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dip Yanko.
And I'm Paolo De Rosario. This has been The Game.